So in this video, we're looking to find the rate of change, looking at the graph, and that's the first thing I'm going to work for, and then we're going to work on these other prompts following that. So we're going to answer a few problems all in one video. So looking at this graph, we need to understand what it represents. It represents how many sodas the employees drink, employee soda consumption, how many they drink over time. So we have number of sodas is our Y value, and that depends how many days we're going. So as the days increase, so do the number of sodas they have consumed also increases. This is a proportional graph. Don't know if you noticed, it goes through the origin and it's linear. So there's a K value for this graph that could be useful. So when we're looking at this graph, hopefully you can notice that we have some definitive points here. We've got this one, 40 and 1 and 40. We've got 2 and 80. You might have also noticed that hopefully that you're counting by halves here. They didn't mark the halves, but our interval is a half. You got to be careful there. So it goes 0, a half, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5. And for a half a day, there are 20 drinks. In half a day, they've drank 20. Okay, and then, so our stair step for our K value, remember, is that unit rate. And the unit rate for this graph says, hey, it's 40 to 1 day. They drink 40 sodas each day, 40 sodas per day. And we can see if that is consistent, and it is, because we will go up to 80 and over 1 day. Now you might have seen the stair step initially as 20. You saw it as 20, it's 20 to 1/2. So 20 over 1/2 is equivalent to 40 over 1. So even though it looks like a smaller stair step, it's still, we're just going to take 2 steps to get to that 40 to 1 relationship. Here's 1 step, 2 steps. So it's just the equivalent fraction for 40 to 1. And it's just, they're smaller steps. And if I take 2, I get to that 40 to 1 relationship. All right, so that is that. Now explain what the 0.280 represents. So on this, you have to be specific. You have units on your graph. So you need to describe what these numbers represent according to your graph. I'll make that a little bit bigger for my text, and I think I'll make it darker so you can read it. Okay, so the 2 represents days and the 80 represents number of sodas. So if you're giving me a full explanation on this, you're going to tell me that the employees consume or drink 80 sodas every 2 days, according to the graph. So complete sentence, you should be able to describe how much they drink 80 every 2 days. Okay, so if we know that relationship, we should be able to figure out after 8 days. So this is 8 now. To go from a 2 to an 8, I have to multiply by 4. Since it's a proportional relationship, that's what we're going to do. Multiply by 4. And what you find is that 80 times 4 is 320. That they consume 320 sodas in 8 days. Okay, and then how long will it take them to consume 240 sodas? Well, go back up to the relationship here. I'm going to rewrite it. That we have 2 every 80. And we're saying, hey, we're going to change that 80 to 240. So to go from 80 to 240, I got to multiply by 3. So to go from, to keep this proportional, I got to multiply this by a 3 also. And what I find is it takes 6 days to consume 240 sodas. This is not on the graph. You can't read these off the graph. So you have to know how to compute them using the proportional thinking. And that is your answer for all of these problems.